it is possible.
But, like, I guess, like, a spot specifically in your house. Like, some people have, like, fake grass where they have specifically where they have, like, a drain underneath specifically for their dog to go potty in.
It's the same concept. It's for those people that live in, like, high-rise apartments that have dogs. This is the easiest way to go for, because it's easier to do that than to try to rush their dog, go down who knows how many flights of stairs, or wait for the elevator to get all the way down there.
Yeah.
And then take the dog out.
It's not practical.
No. It's more practical to do litter or spot training in that sense. And spot training's the next one. It's both indoor and outdoor, those that live in high-rise apartments, but also those that have outdoor dogs. You train them to go in the bathroom just in that spot.
Yeah.
So kind of some of the tips about potty training. What's your number one tip?
I would have to say, oh gosh, there's so many tips that I have to say, but probably don't reinforce the bad behavior by reinforcing it with negative behavior. So don't rub their nose in it, and that's just going to teach them to hide it. That's not going to teach them what they did wrong.
Exactly. It's negative reinforcement.
And the next one I'd have to say is put a potty pad, like, right inside the door, so that if you're rushing to get the door open and you're rushing to get them to go potty outside, at least they'll make it to the potty pad instead, and still reward them for making it to the potty pad, because at least that's in the right direction. So if they don't make it outside, at least they get it on the potty pad.
So, like, gradually train them to actually get out there. And this would work with all the other ones, the litter and the crate training. One thing that I would suggest is getting carpet spray or spray cleaners that use enzymes. Now, what the enzymes do is it gives off a aroma or gives off things
it's got
that tells the dogs, hey, don't pee here. This is not a place to pee. For spot training, they actually make things that give off the pheromone to pee, to poop here.
Yes.
And so that's what I would suggest if you're doing spot training is give it a little spritz of this is where you pee at.
Yeah, and then the last tip that I have is don't put diapers on your dog. And yeah, this seems like the easy way out. It is the easy way out. And what it's going to teach your dog is that they can go potty anywhere. And so as soon as you take that diaper off, guess what? You have an even bigger problem now. Because now they've been trained, they've been reinforced to go potty wherever they want.
And I can't stress it enough. It's one of my biggest pet peeves, I guess, when I see people have a diaper on the dog.
And the only...
unless the dog is old...
Or has a medical condition.
Exactly. Just can't poop.
They can't do it. Like, my parents have a dog that she's very, very old, and she has issues getting outside, and she has issues holding her bladder. She's always had issues holding her, her sphincter. And so she has to wear a potty at night. I mean, a diaper at night.
Yep, so she doesn't go and pee everywhere. So that's kind of our things about potty training.
Yeah. And so, our word of the day is today, count how many times I said,
Yeah, huh? Well, how about we talk about the other shows here on Blue Arrow Media?
Sure, Tim, let's do that.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So, some of the other shows that we have is Tim and Wolf's Puff Life. It's me, Timothy Case, along with one of my friends, Brant Wolf, and we do reviews on cigars and pipe tobacco and just the life and the experiences that we have with it. And we just like to share stories and enjoy your guys' company. I was bugging my foot.
What are you doing?
There was paper by my foot.
We're live!
Yeah, so?
We're live!
How about you talk about castles and cauldrons? I think I always have you talk about castles and cauldrons. How about you talk about To an Extent?
I always talk about To an Extent. I always talk about Castles and Cauldrons and To an Extent. They're both shows that we do. And one of them is a conspiracy show. And one of them is a mystical fantasy that we go on adventures in. And it's a tabletop wonderful thing. And it's going to be awesome. And we do that on Tuesdays.
Because we're nerds.
Yep, that's right.
We're just big nerds. We love it.
Yep. I'm a geek, thank you very much. There's a difference.
Not much.
Nerds are smart. Geeks are good with electronics.
You're smart.
No, I'm not.
If you're good with electronics, you're smart.
No, I'm not.
Don't doubt yourself, Heather.
Leave me
'Cause
alone.
If you doubt yourself, then I'll start crying. We'll all start crying.
I wasn't crying, you weirdo. And now he's crying. Great.
Anyway.
So those are our shows, and we have the To an Extent. What day do we have To an Extent on?
Fridays is usually what we do. We might do it Thursdays if we can do it early enough. Mm-hmm. But Thursdays, Fridays is when we do that one.
Castles and Cauldrons is going to be on Tuesdays, and it's going to start this coming up week.
Mm-hmm.
It's next Tuesday. If we can get everybody together, finally.
Exactly. We've been postponing it for way too long.
Yeah.
It's time
things
for
keep coming up.
enjoyment.
Like last week, I had my dad in town. This week, I had to drive someone to the airport. And then another member had their parent in town. Their parent who lives in Africa, by the way, mind you.
I bless the rains down in Africa. It's a really good song. I like that song. Mm-hmm. 10 brownie points if you can tell me who sings it.
Your mom.
No. It's Toto.
The dog?
No, the band.
Okay.
And I can give you 10 more brownie points if you can say who the lead singer is.
It was Toto. Give me my money.
Lead singer. I said brownie points.
Brownie points? Give me my brownie points then. I want my brownies. Those aren't brownies. Those are just air.
Exactly. Anyway, conspiracy episodes are obviously about conspiracy to an extent. Mm-hmm. And I can't wait for this next one. It's going to be an exciting one. It's about Mandela effect, if any of you guys are interested in. If you want to contact me and tell me I'm doing something wrong or just want to correct me, I'm willing to have a debate with you. Mm-hmm. Or if you have any ideas of extra shows that we can do on Pet Parlor or things we can talk about on Pet Parlor, you can contact me at timcase17@gmail.com. That's TIMCASE 17@gmail.com. Mm-hmm. How about you, Heather?
I'm still working on my email, but I have my regular, what's it called? My, pedestrian, no, not pedestrian, civilian, my civilian email.
Your pedestrian email.
My pedestrian email.
You only answer the other email if you're driving.
Yeah. But it's Heather Jane Metcalf and then the number 1@gmail.com.
Anyway, I think that's a wrap with this.
Yep, I think that'll do, pig. That'll do. I mean, I love you, Tim.
You call me fat?
No, of course not.
You're gonna make me cry again.
Pigs are not fat. They're festively plump.
Okay, I'll accept that. Well, I'm Timothy Case.
And I'm Heather Jane.
And you just listened to
Pet Parlor.